Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam. So welcome to our sixth module. Alhamdulillah, we have completed the 5 modules. This is our last module that we'll be covering today, bi'idhnillah. And we have the links for the slides up here and as well as the link for the videos. So this is a playlist of videos, and inshallah the latest videos would be available at this link. So right now, for example, if you were to go today at the time of recording, you'll probably see old videos, but then, hopefully inshallah in a few weeks, and we'll have uploaded the new videos bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So as a recap of what we have been covering so far. So the first module, we talked about the why, why we do this, why is new Muslim work important, and, what are some of the risks to the du'as and how they can be careful about protecting themselves and so on and so forth. Then we started talking about, how do we understand new Muslims? Not every new Muslim, can be understood in the same way. What are some of the milestones? We discussed some success stories, and we had a new refined perspective on how to view a new Muslim and the opportunities and the challenges. And we talked about some of the myths around them. Then we talked about how you can set up a team to best serve them, different roles, different things to be careful about, and best practices, and so on and so forth. And then we started talking about the first meeting, setting up a first meeting, things to be aware of, things that you can go over. And then we talked about, the regular follow-ups. During these 5 modules, we also discussed the 4 components or the 4 pillars of convert coaching, which is like motivation and inspiration, the why part, the teaching part, the how part, and goal setting. And then the 4th pillar is about empowerment and coaching. And module 6 is going to be more and mostly about empowerment and coaching. And that is our module for today. So let's begin. So as a coach, here are some of the goals and milestones that you can think of for your new Muslim. So a very, very easy thing, the basic thing is for you to keep in touch with them with a weekly call. Ideally a video call if you can, if not, then just an audio call, right? And because call is easy, you don't have to be at the same time. There's no driving, there's no taking the bus. You can just easily get on a call at a time that works for both of you. Okay, the next best thing is for them to come at least once a week to meet you. And that could be in the masjid, ideally in the masjid, you both pray together, in the jama'ah, and you do some learning and you go over prayers and you go over wudu. That's obviously the next best thing, if possible, right? Then you can also think about how you can get them to watch some content on their own, like YouTube, as we discussed earlier, or going through New Muslim Academy and so on and so forth. The next goal could be then, getting them to pray once a day on their own, or in the masjid with the jama'ah, right? And then the Friday prayers, and then, them establishing 3 prayers and so on and so forth. So these are some of the, goals that you can target. Now, at the same time, most of the stuff we talked about were religious goals. Don't forget that depending on the person, some of them may be more open to or more interested in social events, like, barbecues or social events in the masjid or in the community. So it's important for you to know what their interests are, and then either personally inform them of what's happening around them, or helping them to subscribe to whatever the local resources are. So we know we have done work for Toronto and surrounding areas. Now, whatever your area is, you have to figure out how you can keep them aware of the events around them. Obviously, let's say if you are remotely coaching someone, then you have to try to figure out how they can tap into, via social media, Twitter feeds, mailing list, masjid mailing list, or WhatsApp groups, where they can actually be aware of the events that are happening, and then they can go to whatever they're interested in. If there's a fees involved, then you can either try to fundraise and cover the cost, or talk to the organization and have the fees dropped for them. Some of them may have time and may also be interested in subhanAllah, in volunteering, right? So you want to make those opportunities available to them. Like, so it could be like a food bank, a Dawah stall, depending on the person's interest and so on and so forth. Giving them chance to contribute to the community can be a great thing. And some of them may be interested in sports, so connecting them with, like, the brothers or the sisters sports team, which they can be in Muslim company, pray, and so on and so forth, right? Some of them may be open to coming to the masjid classes or conferences and things like that. So just keeping in mind, what they can get, what you can get them engaged into, inshallah. Okay, so this was, some of the goals and some of the things that to keep in mind. And then we'll talk about the next important thing, which is gratitude and why this is important. We'll talk about it in the next session.